I'm Drew Harkness, and this is The Animal Show, a place where pets and people find each other. On this episode, we will be taking an inside look at 3 local shelters and the amazing animals they have available for adoption. At the Pattydale Animal Shelter, Linnea Ishmael cautions us about cat overpopulation as we approach kitten season. At the Surrey Animal Resource Centre, Shelley has some advice on how to prep your pet for a veterinary visit. But right now, let's stop in at the Coquitlam Animal Shelter with Diane and Kit Kat, a big cat looking for someone with a big heart to provide him with a forever home.
Hi there, my name's Diane and we're at the Coquitlam Animal Shelter. I have with me here Kit Kat. Kit Kat is an 8-year-old male neutered guy. He's been here for a little while, I think likely just because of his age. He's also got hyperthyroidism, which is one of the most common diseases that older kitties get. It's easily managed with once-a-day medication. He's really good at taking that. He's been doing really well since he started on that. So if you'd like to meet Kit Kat, come on down to the shelter. David is about a 1 to 2 year old guinea pig. He came to us quite a while ago. He's a pretty shy little guy, so we'd like him to go to a home with somebody with guinea pig experience, somebody with a lot of time to help with his socialization. So if you'd like to meet him, you can come on in. Is Bella. Bella is, we think she's about a year old guinea pig. She's pretty shy. She was found outside in the snow, so she's got a little bit of frostbite on her ears that's cleared up. Pretty sweet, but quite nervous as well, so would need somebody who's very patient and has some guinea pig experience. Guinea pigs live up to be about 6 or 7 years old, so it's a little bit of a commitment as well. So if you'd like to meet her, you can come on in.
Not only does the Coquitlam Animal Shelter help animals find their forever homes, they provide temporary care at their private boarding facility.
Basically, when they come in, we do a physical check, make sure they're healthy, gather a little bit of information from you just in regards to health concerns, so allergies, anything like that, behavior issues, if there are any, if they're okay with other dogs, if they're going to be okay with us.
One thing you need to be aware of is that in order to board your dog at a kennel, they must be up to date on all their vaccines.
We do require that they're not aggressive towards people to stay here. And then when they stay, they get their own private kennel with heated floors. They get let out several times a day to play up in a yard. They get taken for a walk once a day, and they get a physical check once a day just to make sure they're healthy. And if we do discover anything that comes up, then we're okay to take them to your regular vet if it's in Coquitlam, or we've got our own vets that we work with here as well. So if you'd like to come have a look around, you're welcome to stop by and we can show you around, or you can give us a call for a little bit more information on that.
At the Coquitlam Animal Shelter, all dogs can enjoy spacious indoor heated kennels, lots of daily exercise, and lots of attention from experienced staff. Coquitlam's boarding facility is a great choice if you want your dog to visit for a short time, but you don't want them to end up there inadvertently. That's why it's important to have your dog properly licensed.
Here in the city of Coquitlam, we do require all dogs over the age of 6 months to be licensed with the city. You can do this by going online and filling out an application. You can renew online as well. You can also do it at the Coquitlam Animal Shelter or at the Coquitlam City Hall. The licenses are the best way to reunite you with your dog if they happen to go missing. We do also recommend that they have some form of permanent ID as well. So that would be a microchip being the best. A tattoo is pretty good as well, but they can fade. We just need to always remember to update our information with both of those as well. If you'd like some more information on that, you can come on up to the shelter or give us a call. Thanks so much.
If you're interested in any of these animals, visit the Coquitlam Animal Shelter at 500 Mariner Way or call them at 604-927-7387.
If you would like to help us help the animals, you can make a donation to the Animal Show. You can donate online or directly through the bank. Thanks for your help, because every animal deserves a home.
Pattydale Animal Shelter is a municipal facility run by the Langley Animal Protection Society, LAPS. They are well known for their animal enrichment programs.
Hi there, I'm Linnea Ishmael, adoption counselor here at the Pattydale Animal Shelter. And with me now is the beautiful Lexi. This little girl is probably a Pomeranian and mini Aussie mix. She's about 2 years old and is now available for adoption. She's a super fun-loving, bright girl. She could excel maybe in some dog sports, maybe agility. She is great with humans and kids. She could definitely live in a home with some children. She could potentially live with the right cat or dog. She does struggle with being vocal, so definitely a detached home, no condos or townhouses for this girl. She does struggle with her house training as well, so a very patient home with humans who are home more than not is ideal for her as well. So if you're in the market for a lovely little girl such as Lexi, please give us a call here at the Pattydale Animal Shelter. With me now is the beautiful Mavis. This sweet little girl is about 14 years young, and she was found as a stray. She was actually trying to sneak into someone's cat door. So the lovely finder brought her in, and we started to fix her up. Mavis needed a big dental surgery, so we got that done for her. And she is now just looking for that very special home that is looking for a senior. Seniors, of course, are always the last to be adopted. They're sort of passed by time and time again because most people do want the adorable young kittens and don't want to take on an older cat. So she is definitely looking for a very special human to come in and rescue her and give her a nice, loving home for her golden years. So if you feel that you could give Mavis that very, very special home, please give us a call here at the Pattydale Animal Shelter. With me now are a couple older kittens. We have Daryl and Negan up here, and then we have Molson and McCoy hiding back there. These guys are older kittens we got a little later in life. So they are on the shyer side. They would do well in an adult-only home, nice and patient, not a whole lot of hustle and bustle going on there. These guys are super lovable. They're just waiting for that special person to give them a chance. They were all born outside to feral moms. So of course we weren't able to catch them sort of at the ideal socialization period. So, but these guys have come a long way since we've had them here at LAPS in foster care and up for adoption for quite a few months now. So if you are in the market for a lovely older kitten that definitely needs a second chance at a forever home, please come by here to the Pattydale Animal Shelter and have a look.
Cat overpopulation is always a concern for LAPS, especially now as we enter kitten season.
As winter starts to wind down and we get into the warmer spring and summer months, we also anticipate a huge flood of kittens coming into the shelter. As it starts to warm up, that is generally the time where tomcats and unspayed females start making kittens out there in the world. We want to make sure that everyone's doing their part and not contributing to the pet overpopulation problem that we see here. So keeping your cats spayed and neutered. Also, if they're not of age to be spayed or neutered, keeping them inside is a great idea. As well, if you're in the market for a kitten, searching kittens in rescues and shelters rather than buying from a pet store is a great idea as well.
If we patch up an animal who's been hit by a car and now it's ready to go, but it sits in a shelter for months and months because we can't find an appropriate home for it, that doesn't really serve the purpose of the shelter or the community or the animal. Having a tool like the Animal Show to be able to get that animal out of the shelter and into a permanent home, that's really our goal.
We have noticed a big difference over the years in terms of the number of calls that we are getting, specifically from people who have seen animals on the show.
We do get a lot of phone calls after a showing asking about a particular animal that people have seen on the show.
So we've noticed a huge difference since we've been doing the show. People really enjoy coming to see the dogs that they've seen on TV, which brings a lot of attention to the dogs, which eventually gets them adopted.
Any kind of support that can come from the community is what keeps this show doing its job on the air and keeping the high quality of the show.
I think it's a wonderful partnership between the Animal Show and the shelters. We can reach a larger number of people than would just be sort of walking through our shelter doors at any given time.
I think the tool or the advantage that the Animal Show brings in letting people know that we exist at all, hopefully, is that people contact us before they hit a tipping point with their animal. If they don't know how to find a shelter to help them, that relationship may be so fractured by the time they actually find the shelter that the only thing they can do is rehome the animal, that they've just had enough, that the bond is completely broken.
People are more aware of our organization, so they hear about it, then they want to volunteer or they want to help out in some other way.
And really, it's allowing us to free up some space to help out people who might not be able to keep their animals anymore if they need to surrender them.
Us getting them on TV and getting their faces out there is what brings the public in. So it's a snowball effect as the show can continue on, or they come and spend time with the animals, and that's what we really need. So it's a beautiful effect.
If you would like to help us help the animals, you can make a donation to the Animal Show. Thanks for your help, because every animal deserves a home.
The Surrey Animal Shelter is a state-of-the-art facility full of animals looking for a home, including Gigi, who is going to help us prepare for a visit to the vet.
Hi, I'm Shelley Joaquin, the manager of the Surrey Animal Resource Center, and today I have got a lovely assistant, Gigi. She was surrendered to the shelter yesterday. She's 18 months old, beautiful, stunning girl, and she's going to help us learn about how and why it's so important to have your dog relaxed, or any pet, when they go to the visit the vet. February 28th is World Spay Day, so it is really important that animals coming into the shelter leave spay or neutered. Not only for overpopulation, which really isn't that much of an issue with dogs anymore, but it still is with cats, but also for the health benefits. So preventing certain types of cancers by doing spays and neuters, reduce costs, such things as license fees. In Surrey, for example, it's $43 to get a dog license that's spay or neutered, but it's $70 for an intact dog. So it is a cost savings as well to have them spay and neutered. But not all animals are comfortable when they go to the vet, especially if they've had a negative experience. So things that you can do before going to the vet to help them feel more comfortable is take their bed with them, something that smells like home. So when you're in the reception area, they can sit on their bed and they can relax because it's something that they're familiar with. Bring treats with you so that you can, again, make it a positive association. So whether it be in the reception area or going into the clinic, that they feel comfortable. You can bring toys as well, whatever really motivates your dog or your cat. One of the other things is if they are going in for surgery and they're going to need to wear an Elizabethan collar, that's another thing that you can introduce before they associate that with the pain of a spay or neuter. So Gigi's, like I said, she's only come in yesterday, so we've only practiced this trick once, but she caught on really, really quickly because she doesn't have a negative association with the collar. So we'll show you how we did that. So she knows the game. So I'm just going to get her to put her head in the cone. Good girl. And then if she holds her head in there, I'll just continue to give her treats. The important thing is when you're first teaching it, is that if she wants to pull her head out, that she's comfortable to do that. So she's doing so good. Like literally, we only spent like 5 minutes on this before. So I will pull it off and see if we can get her to do it again. Because the cone for some dogs can be really, really scary. So you want to make sure when your animal comes back from the vet wearing the collar that they can access their food and water, they can get through doorways. Good girl. Good job. So what she's learning is she's only getting the treats if she puts her head through. So when she has a hard time understanding what I'm asking, I just make it easier for her by luring her head through with the treats. And that's a game you can play with your dogs before they go to the vet. So the collar is actually a positive thing rather than a negative thing when they come back from a spay or neuter. The other thing you can do is visit the vet office often when you're not going in for an appointment. You can do things like most veterinarians have a weigh scale in their waiting room. So what you can do is just go in, drop in when you're driving by, get them to go on the scale, give them some treats, and make it a positive experience. Gigi. Whoa. Good girl. And getting them to sit, stay, so you can actually get an accurate number on the weight is good too. So she is 26.8 kilograms. Good girl. Good job. Some of the other things you can do is you can do your homework. So when you're researching, if you don't have a vet already and you're looking for one, you can find one that is fear-free certified, which means that their staff have taken extra courses to really understand and be able to recognize fear and anxiety and stress when the animals come into the shelter. And good girl. Other ways that they can reduce stress and low stress handling of the animal when they're there. Because the last thing you want is for the animals to have negative experiences at the veterinarian and get worse and worse each time. And their anxiety and their stress and aggressive behavior increases each time they're at the vet. So today is anti-bullying day. Hence the pink, and we actually had Gigi dressed up in pink butterfly wings and flowers earlier today, but is being an advocate for your pet. So when you are going to the vet, you know your pet. So if they are feeling stressed or anxious, asking the vet to take a minute and let the dog acclimatize to the exam room. It's really, really important. And then doing your homework before, so making sure that if they're going in for a procedure, you could work on something like teaching them a stand, stay, and a target to your hand, so that if she can keep her nose there while the vet's doing a vaccine or a temperature, and then all she's thinking is, I'm getting treats, this is fun, the next time she's going to come to the vet, she's going to think about the treats and not about the poke or the temperature. Next up we have Latifa. Latifa came to the shelter as an owner's surrender, and she is now looking for her forever home. As you can see, Latifa has been fed very well in her previous home, and she's definitely needing a special diet to help her shed a few pounds. And with being overweight, sometimes the cats have a harder time grooming. So she does have a little bit of dander. So in her new home, she'll need someone who can provide that special diet with low calories and also just brush her every day. And she really does love to be with people, and she definitely loves to interact and be brushed. So Latifa seems to be okay with other cats, and she definitely likes all types of people that come into the shelter, so kids and adults. So she would be a great addition to any family. So if you're interested in Latifa, please come down to the shelter and meet her. we have Smithers and Burns. These gentlemen were surrendered to the shelter, and they're about 2 years old. Smithers has a little bit of an ear infection, so we've been treating that. But other than that, they are healthy young boys, and they love to explore their cage. You gotta love the hair. I mean, he is a bit of a rock star. It doesn't help that he's got a little bit of ear medication. It makes it a little bit greasy, but once that's all done, this boy's definitely going to need some grooming. So he's kind of a high maintenance kind of guy. And definitely has the flowing locks, where his partner is more of the wired hair, which wouldn't necessarily require brushing. Guinea pigs do need to have their nails trimmed, and you need to check their teeth frequently. So those are some of the things to do. Guinea pigs can live up to 5 to 8 years. So these guys are, still have a long life ahead of them. We recommend that you have a larger space for them than just the typical small cage that you see at the pet store. Oh, Smithers was making a run for it. So you can buy creative square paneling because to make a larger floor space for them, they don't really go up and down, and they can't really climb over too many things. So you can have a very low environment, but it needs to have a lot of floor space because these guys love to explore. So if you're interested in Smithers and Burns, our rock star guinea pigs, please come down to Sark and ask to meet them.
Interested in any of these animals available for adoption, visit the Surrey Animal Resource Centre at 17944 Colebrook Road, or call them at 604-574-6622. That's it for the Animal Show. We hope you enjoyed the program. These are only a few of the available animals for adoption, so if you think that you can provide a forever home, take a visit to your local animal shelter. Until then, I'm Drew Harkness. Thanks for watching.
If you would like to help us help the animals, you can make a donation to the Animal Show. You can donate online or directly through the bank. Thanks for your help, because every animal deserves a home.